My name is Julie Jackson. I'll be the host of today's session, and I'm joined here by my esteemed colleagues. All three of us went through hair and makeup. So let's give a special round of applause for Bram, who's really thrilled about his makeup right now.
First time.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, your roles at Booking, and why you're relevant to be talking about visibility.
I will. So, hello everyone, my name is Bram. So I'm the senior manager, commercial manager advertising at Booking.com, and me and my team are responsible for making sure that we have a global commercial successful program, making sure that you as advertisers are set up for success when you advertise in our advertising tooling. I'm with Booking about 7.5 years now. I spent my first 5 years in the marketing department, actually in the growth marketing department, and some of my colleagues have been on stage already. And 2.5 years ago, I transitioned into this new role. So basically, in the first 5 years, I learned how to actually buy the most optimal media mix. And now I'm applying that knowledge into building out an ad platform for you as travel advertisers on Booking.com.
Rox, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, hola a todos. I'm Roxana. I'm the senior commercial advertising for LATAM. I've been working in the hospitality industry for more than 10 years in sales department, food and beverage, also wedding planner. But 8 years ago, I joined Booking with the local office here in Cancun. So I was managing partners in Cancun, Riviera Maya, and then is when I started understanding what were partner needs and also the customer needs. So in the pandemic, I decided to do commercial excellence team that I was managing. I was supporting each quarter with launching new programs. And in that moment, last year, sponsor ads came in. So I think it was a good moment for me to join to Bram's team and bring this program to LATAM, as I already have knowledge around all the markets that we have in LATAM with Brazil, Argentina, everything going on. So it was a good moment, and now I'm here.
Really happy to have you on board.
Yeah.
Nice. So before we get into a little bit more detail about the sponsored ads product, we wanted to start with a little bit of a definition of visibility with Booking.com. So for us, we sort of organize our operations and our products and services and features around foundational visibility, structural visibility, and then targeted visibility. So by raise of hands, how many people in this room list a property on Booking.com? I hope some of you do. You're at a Booking.com event. So you know a little bit about visibility, because when you list a property on Booking.com, you're getting the visibility. Even if you don't participate in a single program, adding your photos, content, things about your property that a guest might want to know, that's how you can gain some visibility. And that's the foundational visibility that we provide our partners. Now, structural visibility is things like the preferred program, where we have an agreement with partners where we, as an eligible partner for the preferred program, you have access to more visibility because we trust that you're going to provide a great rate and a great stay for those guests. And then finally, targeted visibility. So in need periods, when you're trying to either attract more guests, get more visibility, a combination of the two, that's where you have targeted visibility. And that is where sponsored ads comes into play. So we will focus this session on sponsored ads. Okay.
So over 80% of bookings on Booking.com are received by partners that are listed on the first page. So it's needless to say that it's important that your property is listed on those premium positions. And this is basically what we do with Booking.com, Booking Network sponsored ads, I should say. We decouple those premium positions across websites of Priceline, Agoda, and Booking.com. And what we do is when we decouple them, we run a separate auction for every single search that happens on Booking.com. Participating hotels into our ad program can then bid for that specific user based off of predefined targeting segments that they actually select into their campaign setup. And once they win that auction, which we'll tell you more about in a bit, they'll be featured into those premium positions. At the moment, there's position 2 and position 4 in our search results. And at the moment that you get shown on those positions, you don't necessarily pay. You will only pay once the user clicks on that specific listing. We're doing this by giving you a lot of flexibility. You can turn it on and turn it off whenever you need, and also providing you transparency by providing you full-on reporting on how your campaign is performing, so you can even further optimize your campaign, or potentially report back into the business on what the return was of your advertising budgets.
Nice. So that's a little bit about what sponsored ads is. So Rox, why would a partner use it?
Well, we can say like 3 things are really important. One is visibility. Why? Because right now the world is so competitive, so we want your property to have more exposure, and you can do it by having a premium placement. Like mentioned Bram, you can have the 2nd and 4th position. Second to that, targeting. Targeting is super useful for you because at the end it's going to be combining the strategy that you're having overall. And last, we know and we love that Booking gives a lot of data, and we have hearing that we love data. So you're going to have it in real time, and you're going to be able to optimize all the campaigns on the same moment to also align it to the strategy and be ready for all the market demand.
Nice. So we know a little bit about what it is and benefits for our partners. So Bram, let's get into it. How does it work?
How does it work? So I've been mentioning the auction already, and the advertising model that we use in Booking Network Sponsored Ads is a CPC model, so cost per click. So you'll only be charged whenever a user clicks. Now the auction, I'll go a little bit more into depth on like how the auction works and how you can potentially optimize it as well. So there are two elements that come into play when entering the auction at Booking.com. First of all, it's the bid, and the bid can be placed in two different ways. You can actually do it in an automated fashion, so you can tell our algorithm to say, my return on ad spend needs to be X, and based off of that, the algorithm will decide on like what the bid should be, and it will protect your return on ad spend. If you're a little bit more advanced advertiser, you can actually put a manual bid in, so you can just say it needs to be 50 cents. The minimum bid in which you can participate on Booking Network Sponsored Ad is 50 cents, so that needs to be the minimum, but sometimes it can even go up to like 70–80% if you know that it still saves you a good return on ad spend. The other element that comes into play is the publisher score. So some of you might be more familiar with the quality score, which actually informs the organic ranking that we have. And the publisher score is very similar. It includes kind of like 20 to 30 different attributes that determine how relevant you are for that specific user. We have the publisher score for two specific reasons. One, it allows us to just not serve ads for properties that have the deepest pockets. And at the same time, we also allow the best property to then serve so that we can still have a relevant property showing towards the user. Now, those two elements of a publisher score and the bid, we merge them together, and both of them actually end up in a bid in which you enter into the auction. Now, if you end up winning the auction, there's a second price auction mechanism, and that is going to be the price that you will pay when a user actually clicks on that specific ad. And now you want me to explain what the second price auction is.
Oh. I was
Never
pausing
mind.
for dramatic effect and ingesting all that information. But excuse me,
No worries at all.
can you remind me what a second price
I have a
auction
great
is?
example for you on how to explain how a second price auction works. So how does it work? So in this specific example, there are 3 participating hotels, let's say in Cancun, that are at play to actually bid for a user searching from the US. So in this specific example, Hotel A bids $1, Hotel B 70 cents, and Hotel C 90 cents. If we would only look at the CPC bid, what would happen is that Hotel A will win, and it will only pay 1 cent extra compared to the second price auction. So it will only pay 91 cents. Now the publisher score comes also into play to make sure that not just we boost a property that has a lot of marketing budget, and as you can see, there are different publisher scores for each of those specific hotels. So if we then look who is the winner, if we apply the publisher score, it's actually Hotel C, because we multiply the CPC bid by the publisher score, and that actually informs the actual ranking. So in that degree, the winner is with 81 cents, but it will only pay 76 cents, because it will pay 1 cent extra compared to Hotel A, and that way we also save our advertising partners from overpaying for that specific ad placement. Now, if you win that auction, this is the way that you're going to be displayed into that ad slot. It's very native, right? So we just boost your organic listing into position 2 or potentially position 4 on Booking.com, and we also reserve premium positions on Priceline and Agoda as well. We use an ad button on top of it. Priceline and Agoda use a promoted button, but that way it really feels native, and we're not intruding in the customer experience in that way.
Does everybody feel clear about a second price auction? Or should we have a replay of that exact explanation?
I think we're good.
Cool. So moving along, Rox, why should a partner start using Booking Network sponsored ads?
For 2 reasons. Because the return of investment, the return of ads, and the cost per click. Why? Right now, what we have seen in LATAM is that for every $1 that you're investing with us, you will get from 8 to 13 in return. So, and also the CPC, that is really competitive what we have right now. So if we look into the trend in the last couple of months, you can see that it's really constantly, it's above the 12. Normally we can experience like a decrease in the ROAS, but we have seen is that the partners, that means you, have been more knowledgeable of the tool and being able to customize much better the campaigns. So in line with that, we have like different markets that are really in demand. So we have hearing that the US Booker, that Brazil, Argentina, and Buenos Aires, Rio, etc., are being top markets. So we have seen the same. Basically, for what we have seen from the sponsor ads, is like Rio, Sao Paulo are really it's the opportunity that we have right now for LATAM, because the CPC is really competitive, and basically for every dollar that you're investing with us, you will have 12 in return. If we look more across the region, if we see by countries or region, we can see that it may vary for different factors, because at the end we have different mixes of properties. In Mexico, we have the North, the South, and the Caribbean. But also if we go just specifically for the Caribbean, you can see that the CPC is really competitive what we have in the market, and plus they're having more than 20 for us. So I'm really grateful that the properties, I hope that all the properties right now here that are based in the Caribbean, you're starting to participate, because it's the right moment to do it. And some of the travel countries, travel trends that we have right now, US Booker, as mentioned several times in the other sessions, is the biggest opportunity that we have. So right now, if you are looking to track this this market, they're traveling to Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic. So it's the right moment to start adding these type of targetings that you have. And not also that, you can also target it by families. So that means that even in the platform, you can just target by group. So this means that you are going to be targeting clients that are looking for more than 2 rooms. So if we look in the family, you are like, oh, in my case, I'm a Mexican, I travel with my daughter, my husband, plus I take my mother. So that means that we need 2 rooms. And basically, if I book for 2 rooms, probably your ad will be there because you're looking for families. So I think that we have a lot of varieties of targetings that you can use and combine in the strategy that you have with us.
Based on my quick math, I would think you need 3 rooms, but...
Well, because I have 2 kids. My husband is one, and my daughter is another one, so yeah.
I think
Then
he's
I
somewhere
have
here in
3
the room,
kids
right?
total.
Yeah.
Cool. So I had mentioned preferred in the beginning of this session. So I think it's important to explain how some of our visibility programs work together. So Bram, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into how does preferred compare to sponsored ads. So what we advise partners is in step 1 to actually join preferred. Preferred is an always-on premium program to stand out to a wide audience. There's a key difference between preferred compared to sponsored ads, and that means with preferred you get a boost in ranking for every single search. A key difference between sponsored ads is that you'll have to have budget to participate into the auction. And actually, when you participate, you still need to win it. So the potential volume you're going to get out of preferred is definitely much higher than you're going to get on sponsored ads. So definitely use that as your first step if you're looking for extra visibility. Sponsored ads is actually a tactical layer that you can use on top to basically, for need moments, target specific users of which you know that are value for you as a hotel partner. Actually, where the magic happens is when you combine them together. So if you are a preferred partner, for example, and you're participating in ads, you have a higher chance of winning the bid and actually showcasing into that second position. Another mechanism that we put into place is what we call the no cannibalization rule, right? So it could very much be that organically you would have already been ranked first or second in the search result. In case you are participating through ads, it could be that you're going to win the auction. But if you would have organically already ranked first or second and you win the ad auction, we throw away the ad auction and we'll move back towards the organic ranking. That way you do not have to pay to defend your position, which is a feature unlike some of our competition, which really stands out and makes sure that they actually complement each other instead of anything else. Obviously, a key difference between the two as well is the cost method, which you can also see on the slides as well, where again, sponsored ads is different as it's purely based off of a CPC cost per click model.
Nice. I think that's really important and a nice differentiator against our competitor, if we have a competitor, but I think we stand alone. So, what are the key things to keep in mind?
Yeah, so this slide might be familiar to you. It's been displayed before as well by Fiona, I believe. And it's something that we keep very close when we develop products, and especially also into the advertising space. So we really try to serve both sides of the marketplace. But a great example, for example, is when we know that when we give you the tooling to target the customers on our platform, that we actually create a much more relevant sort order. So in that regard, it's a great example of like how we can actually serve both sides of the marketplace by allowing advertising. At the same time, we need to be cautious, right? Like we don't want to turn Booking.com into a billboard. We're a hotel business that runs ads and not the other way around. So we're very cautious with certain feature requests that we get from some of you in the market as well. One great example is custom ad copy, which we're quite cautious about because we really want to make it a native as possible experience. At the same time, we know that this is like a partner product, right? So features like no cannibalization rule are really important to us, and we know that offering you flexibility and transparency are super key, so we're super dedicated to make sure that we keep developing those features based off of your feedback moving forward.
Speaking of feedback, are you guys familiar with Slido? We have a Slido for this session. I think your feedback is a gift. You've heard it before. In particular, for this product as a newer product, it's an incredible moment for you to share your voice in terms of prioritization of features. So we're asking in this Slido to prioritize feature requests. Bram and Rox are the people to receive this feedback and take it on board.
100%. So you see a couple of features here. I'll just talk you through before we go to the results. Obviously, postpay, like the people who are in this room or using our product will likely know more about the fact that we are a prepaid program. So there's like a prepayment upfront before you can participate. Display ads, an often requested feature, which we'll tell a little bit more later about as well. Regional district and landmark searches or custom ad copy. We can't see it here, so we need to check.
Custom ad copy.
Ah, you see?
Nice.
Slight movement.
Oh my God.
It's interesting to see.
It's interesting
We've
to
seen
see
this
it,
we've seen this in like different regions as well, where the requests are slightly different. So it's great to see that you're actually.
There's more votes coming in. The count is
57.
increasing.
Yeah.
Has everybody voted? There you go.
Thank you very much for sharing that feedback.
I'll make sure to hold them accountable. Don't you worry. I think as we move towards the end of this session, a couple of final remarks, and then we will move forward. Bram, what do you already have on the roadmap? What are you going to do before getting this feedback? What were you planning to do to improve the product?
Exactly. So before I tell you a little bit more about like what we have coming in the next few months as well, I wanted to take a step back because we launched this program about 2.5 years ago in the US. We've launched about 1.5 years ago also in Latin America. And at that time, we went with an MVP product basically into the market to get your feedback and actually improve the feedback to make sure that we have a robust program. So we had one placement on Booking.com. We had relatively limited targeting and pacing capabilities. And again, due to a lot of feedback that we've received, we really have a robust program these days. Like we're live in NORAM, LATAM, EMEA, and also APAC, allowing you to target those source markets where you see best fit. We have various placements across Booking, Priceline, and Agoda, allowing you with much greater skill and also much more performance globally than when we would have been just with Booking.com. And we completely redefined targeting and pacing capabilities. So with the help of our technology provider, Cody, we totally redesigned the platform that's underlying of our ad platform, and that allows you actually to be much more flexible and scale your campaigns to a much better degree as it was before. And while we appreciate that it's new kind of tooling compared to like what tooling you potentially was used to, we truly believe that this is a future-proof setup, and we're dedicated to make it even more simple for you or even more advanced if you are an advanced advertiser on our platform. If we then look into what's next, so there are 4 key product developments that we have that we're working on or at least planning to work on. So the first one is regional, district, and landmark searches. So currently we're only showcasing ads on specific city searches. We know this has been a big ask of you to also allow to serve advertisements on searches for regions, districts, or landmarks. And we're currently testing regional searches as well. And in the coming weeks after that, we'll also try to expand it into district and landmark searches. Now, step 2, various placements across Booking.com. So we are currently testing showcasing hotel ads into our flights funnel. So for example, when a person has booked a flight on Booking.com, does it add value to add a hotel ad into that funnel, or even where it's just scanning for a flight, for example. Another topic, which is one of my most favorite ones, is the map feature. It's an often used feature. A lot of people are actually searching into the map. So we're trying to take that ad ecosystem that we have and use that onto the map function to make sure that you as hotel partners can bid for a highlighted beacon, for example. The third one is testing dynamic pricing. So we know that with some ADRs in the market in LATAM, some of the minimum bids of 50 cents are a bit too high. So we're trying to figure out how can we actually be dynamic with our minimum floor price so that some of the advertisers can actually start participating into the program and still get a competitive return on ad spend. And last but not least, I saw this was high up on the list as well, launching more advertising formats. So in the US currently, we're testing out display ads, and display ads is different. So sponsored ads is based on the CPC model, so per click. Display ads is more of a branding tactic. The cost method is different, and it's often being used slightly different by hotel partners as well. But we're currently focusing on the US market to expand it over there, and we're working very closely with our internal teams to also be able to have LATAM partners joining there as well. So as a LATAM partner, you should be able then to advertise towards the US market through display advertisement at the same time. So stay tuned, and we'll definitely reach out to you once we have more information to share on this one.
Nice. So after tonight's celebration, starting tomorrow, you guys have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great. So Rox, what's the couple of things you want them to take away?
We can say three of them. First of all, it's a self-managed platform. It's really easy to sign in, so you just go create your password and you're ready to go. Second, it's a customized, so at the end it's always available for you to do it according to the strategy, so that makes it easy. And second, data, you have information to make better decisions when you're looking for your strategy. So we are pretty sure, we are really confident that this program is ready for you to join. You have the opportunity, there is a lot of opportunity in the market, and also this will be able for you to prepare for that 2024. So hopefully we can see more of LATAM partners, because what we can say LATAM is being the biggest region participating with the sponsor ads, and globally we are so happy to have you there.
Couldn't agree more.
Nice. So as you can see, we took a little bit of a deep dive into one of our newer visibility programs. It's a competitive travel market, so we hope you take advantage so you can get some more visibility yourself. I am now going to close the session with a round of applause for these two.